Welcome back to the Manila Major for the final game of the day. It's the final series of the day as well. We are going to finish off our lower bracket. It has been a deathly day for some teams. 3 have already left the Major. 1 more will join them. We'll be down to just 12 at the end of the evening. And we have our panellists back, of course, to discuss the 2 teams in the final game. And I guess the first thing we do is start with the fact that had this been any other ordinary game, Team Secret versus Team Empire, with the way that Empire are right now, you'd then be like, well, this is a straightforward win for Team Secret. But it's not that simple, bearing in mind the group stage is what happened and the fact that they're in a best-of-1 lower bracket.
Well, it wasn't so straightforward when these teams last faced off in this arena either. This is a very similar story. We've got one team very, very good. They execute or they go home.
Yeah. And does the history play a role, do you think, in this one, Winter? We often talk about other games that they played, and it's so long ago usually that we just go, well, it won't really matter. But this one has some mega similarities about it.
I mean, there's some similarities, but then again, like the Secret we're going to see today, who knows what's going to happen. Like, EG is already out. Like, who would have believed you if you would have told everyone on the first day of the main event, Secret and EG might be out together?
Yeah, it's incredible. Do we put too much stock on the fact that we rate Secret individually so highly and yet we're still waiting for that cohesion? Or
I mean, it just didn't click yet for them. Like we've seen it with the EG, we hoped in the 2 days break that everything would be fixed for them, that it would make it work. They didn't.
Do you think it's the same issues?
I think it is the same issues. It has like the same root of the problem. Ever since they switched players, they haven't been performing, same as EG, and I hope that the last wake-up call, which was 2 days ago after I lost the group stage, is actually enough for them to finally wake up and perform, because this is the last chance they have for now, and they better make use of it.
A lot of speculation out on the internet that if they don't perform here and they perhaps go out in this 13th to 16th part of the bracket, that maybe there's sweeping changes ahead.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Would it not? I mean, I would be surprised, genuinely. I mean, I think you make those changes and then you go towards TI and then
I wouldn't be surprised.
You go through the open bracket because you want to make changes?
I wouldn't be surprised, Paul. I think in between the last major and now, there's already enough time for you to actually try out every possible roles or play style that might fit your team. If nothing works, change.
You also have to consider the last 3 LAN tournaments.
Hold on, but change even though you could potentially get an invite to TI, and you'd rather go through the open qualifier?
But why would you want to get the invite if you know that there's no chance of winning? Yeah. That's like, it's pointless, I think.
Yeah. All right, sorry, Glenn.
I was going to say the last 3 LAN tournaments, they've always ended up on the very bottom, and that doesn't happen unless you have some serious problems. I've heard that they wanted to change roles or something, but that never happened in the end because I think the roles they're playing are the roles they're best at, and I don't think that's the problem.
I think Puppy clarified that though, didn't he? Didn't he come out and say that no, there's no team role changes, we're not going to change role, and players don't want to change roles?
Yeah, and I think that's the best for them too. It's just, if it's not the roles and the players are comfortable with the roles, then what is it that makes you not play like you used to?
You know what? Like Puppy's team, every time whenever I see his team and he's not drafting, that's usually a big sign that something is wrong in the team. Like something is wrong.
Well, you have to be careful with that, right? That was the same change that they made last summer. They moved from Puppy drafting to S4 doing the drafting, and they won 4 straight major international lands.
But to be fair, that's S4 drafting.
They did it from captain to captain. That's not wrong.
Envy was a pretty good drafter with C9. I mean, this is, look, at the end of the day, the reason that I wouldn't be that surprised to see some kind of change is because when you watch this team's replays, you can't tell a coherent story for why they are where they are on the map as a team. We looked at this, we've been looking at the replays from that last game, and Witcher, one of the best in the business at doing this. We talk a lot on the panel about how they execute during fights and the sequencing of spells. We don't talk a lot often enough about where they are as a team before the fights, where they're positioning, what objectives on the map they're prioritizing. EG in that last match, they weren't together as a team, not just during the fights, but before, during the setup. Secret has had the same problems.
Okay. Going to get more from our 3 gents on the panel in just a moment's time, but of course we need 2 more teams. So for the last time this evening, let's raise the roof for our teams. It's Empire and Secret.
After being through hell and back, this organization struck gold when they wiped the slate clean and put together this incredibly talented roster. Thriving off the success and experience of CIS veterans Scandal, as well as the talents of Afterlife and Ramses, they conquered the European regional qualifiers, qualifying the organization for their first ever major, the veritable underdogs.
Welcome on stage, Team Empire!
Runners-up in Frankfurt and champions in Shanghai, their record in the majors is unrivaled. With 2 new additions to the Shanghai Major winning lineup, clutch mid laner Arteezy and prolific offlaner Universe, they have the experience and the ability. It's time for them to uphold that reputation.
Welcome on stage, Team Secret!
Seems like the biggest question is flip-flops or no shoes at all between those 2 teams coming out on the stage. We'll let them get comfy whilst we dissect the 2 teams in question. We'll start with Team Empire. Alan, you're first up. A relatively new lineup, came through the qualifiers, gritty qualifiers as well. They were no mean feat to get through the qualifiers with 1 spot there, and this team rose up to the challenge.
Yeah, I really love the way that this new roster has come together. I still think the two supports and their ability to just be dynamic in their presence throughout the game is the key to this team. Miposhka and King R have pulled off some amazing combos on that support play. And Ramses, okay? Arteezy, a player that is not actually known for his effusive praise, has said Ramses will win a TI.
Okay, I've got a fun stat for you. Knoxville likes these ones, okay, and he's given me an absolute barn burner of a stat this time round. The last time the Secret beat Empire in a series was exactly a year ago today in the Mars TV 2015 final. Secret winning that one 3-1. It's been exactly a year.
That's not good news if you're a Secret.
That's not good news if you're a Secret. I can absolutely say it, yeah. They've also met in 4 series in 3 different events. Game aggregate score 8-2 in favour of Secret. So all the statistics suggest that Secret are on top, but they mean nothing right now. Nothing. You say stats mean everything.
You know what? I don't think the statistics suggest
stats don't lie. Stats don't lie.
There's a reason there's an asterisk. I need my asterisk.
You're adding the asterisk now? Okay, all right. We're going to get more from all 3 of you in just a moment, but I do want to just catch up with one of the team players on Empire, because they're one of those teams that we just haven't spoken enough about. So let's hear it from the mouth of a man that knows them well. Here's Scandal.
Hey, Scandal, how's it going, man?
Hey, man.
Hey.
Going good.
Going good,
Yeah,
all right.
great.
Good. Well, you should be great. This is Empire at the Major, man. I mean, you're here, you've made it, and you guys have quite an incredible story not a lot of people know. I mean, some teams have some new guys come in, some teams lose some guys. Your entire team was recently formed.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that like for you?
It's really great. Like, I've never played with my teammates,
Yeah.
current teammates, so we're doing good. We're fixing stuff and so on.
I mean, that's a huge understatement, if you don't mind me saying. I mean, you formed your entire team, and then you guys just went ham. There was no training period. You're like, let's form a team. Let's compete in Dream League. Let's play. And every time you guys are in anything, you get better. Every single time. I mean, I think I talked to you before about that. Is that how you feel still? Like every match, things just keep getting better for you?
Maybe not like this at the moment, but yeah, overall it's like this.
Yeah, I mean,
Like every hour we get experience, we get better, better know each other and stuff like this.
it's like a real Dota game. Like every hour you get more experience. You guys are like almost level 25 now, so you're almost ready to fight, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's talk about Empire in general. I mean, you guys are from the CIS team, or region, excuse me. And how do you feel you fit in there? Are you one of the stronger ones, or right in the middle, or what?
I think we're one of the strongest teams in terms of individual skill for sure. Maybe not in terms of team play or something like this, strategies. But yeah, one of the strongest.
Well, I have to agree, and your performance here at the Major has been showing that off. I mean, a lot of people know Empire as the guys that get almost all the way, and then they just miss that top one. They miss the first place. Is that what's going to happen here, or are you guys ready to finally grab that first place and take and show the world that Empire is something to be afraid of?
Well, we have a shaky situation here, but yeah, of course we'll try.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the first place, but maybe, I don't know, top 5, 6, something like this.
That's a pretty accurate...
We haven't set any goals.
You haven't set any goals? You gotta have goals.
Oh yeah, I don't know. We don't have the goal. We're just aiming on the best performance we can do.
Yeah, and that's about anything anybody can expect. So, all right, let's talk about more stuff like heroes, specific things.
Okay.
Now, not a lot of people know this, but you played Han. You basically made Shadow Fiend, right? I mean, you made it who it was.
Probably.
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Hey, so, geez, you made a hero into the meta. That's something to be proud about, man. But well, how come people don't play Shadow Fiend anymore? Are you kind of bummed he's not in the meta?
Yeah, he's too squishy, too weak for the ganks. Like, you gotta have some special tactics, some special movement. Like, you need to cover him, make space for him, and stuff like this. If you don't do that, he's just getting killed over and over again.
Right, but I mean, you have migrated on over to Puck, and you are probably one of the best Puck players in the world. I've personally seen you go like 28-0 in Puck games. It's disgusting. Do you like playing the hero? Or
thank you, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like. Of course, I like.
Yeah.
I like mobile heroes and heroes with escape. Because every time I get caught, I need to get away.
Right.
And Puck is great at this.
Yeah. You think Templar might ever come back? You do like Templar too, right?
Yeah, I do Templar Assassin, but yeah, it's hard as well. Yeah.
What makes her hard?
I don't know, heroes like Venomancer, Beastmaster. Obviously, Beastmaster is getting banned all the time, but I don't know, it's just hard.
Yeah,
just a lot of spells that that break the refraction, so it makes her really squishy as well.
Now, you talked a lot about your team, and you're surprisingly one of the older guys on your team. You have a pretty young squad.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that? Is that kind of what makes that aggressive Empire kind of team play, or?
Oh, yeah, kind of. People in my team, they are very, very young and like hot, you know?
Yeah.
Hot blood.
Yeah.
They want to fight.
They're young. They want to prove themselves.
Yeah. But sometimes they need to like be more serious in the games. Yeah. We're trying to fix that.
Yeah. So how do you fix that? I mean, you've been working on that, right?
I'm trying.
Yeah.
But not hard enough, maybe.
Whoa,
Yeah.
no.
Me personally.
Yeah. Well, you got your own stuff to worry about, so that's understandable for sure. Yeah. Well, you guys are doing really well. You're working very well together, and it's just incredible what you've managed to accomplish, putting in all these stars in the CIS region into one team and moving forward. What do you think is going to be your biggest challenge, and where are you guys going to succeed?
Where?
Yeah, like, I mean, how are you guys going to beat everybody else?
I don't know. I hope we succeed here. I hope we succeed in the international qualifier or the invite. I don't know yet. So we'll just try hard and see what's up, what we get.
For sure.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest challenge facing you coming up?
The biggest challenge? I don't know, the comeback from the lower bracket, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe round 1, because it's BO1. Like, you know, it's roulette.
Yeah. It's going to be intense, but luckily you got all those young, hot-headed guys
I hope
who are
so.
ready for the fight.
Hope we'll made it. We'll make it.
You will make. Last question for you. It's a very personal question. You got a little blood on your pants, man. What have you been doing? You been going crazy? What is that over there? You been getting into a fight scandal?
No, I'm not fighting here. It might end bad here if you fight someone.
Yeah, for sure. I
yeah.
mean, they got big guys like.
I don't know.
Puppy
I
and
don't
all
know
that.
what's this.
Yeah, that's sweat. That's tears. All right, that's blood
That's
for your
blood,
fighting
tears.
in the game. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. All right.
For entering the lower bracket, man. After the OG,
After that, whew.
it's my blood. They beat me.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to get a little blood out of them coming up here in the moving on in the tournament. But man, thank you so much for taking time for us, buddy.
Thank you.
And we wish you the best of luck. We hope that this is the tournament that Empire really seals the deal and takes
I
it all.
hope so too.
All right, man. Thanks
All right.
a lot.
Thank you.
Another great interview from Sir Action Slacks there. It's definitely no trouble from him trying to get blood out of a stone. He definitely gets blood out of a stone. There was proof of it on the Trousers of Scandal. A man who's come full circle now, has 4 or 5 years ago now. He was originally at Team Empire. He's come all the way around, all through the different CIS teams, and has now landed back in what seems to be quite a nice home for him, actually.
Yeah, and he's a guy that, as Slacks touched on in the interview, he's defined the meta for several years. I mean, I learned Invoker by watching replays of that guy in pubs. He is a veteran player. I don't necessarily know that he's been spectacular in this Empire run, but he's been solid, and the team has played extraordinarily well around him.
Yep. Any thoughts?
Scandal Invoker? Oh, you're old school.
Yeah. He actually invented a Jules nuke.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that's what I learned from that. I was like, you can do that?
Yeah, I watched him too. I was like, I'm gonna try that next game, and then I did it in an official game. And my team's like, what the heck are you doing? And then I lost because I didn't.
I actually did it once, and my team was like, why would you get Yules on Invoker?
Yeah, right. It makes no sense. Just movement speed.
All right, before we get too carried away with the Invoker builds, let's take a look at Team Secret, because we've spoken about their disharmony, but I want to talk about some of the positive things that are within their team, and most of it comes from their lineup. Their lineup is an all-star lineup of players.
Raw skill, Paul. Just raw skill.
skill.
The amount of raw skill they have is just unbelievable.
Probably the best in the world, just from raw skill.
Yeah. So it's an incredible lineup, Alan, isn't it? When you look at it on paper, every player is the dream player that you would want in a lineup.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we talked so much about Sumail, we talked so much about PPG drafting. I think Universe was the best player in the pro game last year. I think he's been the best player in the pro game for a long time.
Right.
But you look at Team Secret as an organization, there are 22 teams that have played 400 or more pro Dota 2 matches. Secret just reached that level. Secret of those have easily the highest win percentage, over 67.5%. Okay? They are 6-19 since changing their roster.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing how poorly they've played, and I guess one of the people that falls on is probably the team captain himself, and I know he would take responsibility for that, and that is the main man himself, Puppy.
All right, Puppy, welcome to the interview. How you feeling? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
All right. So
All right.
what was that?
What?
What?
I said all right.
Well, you said something after I said something
I
under
said
your
all
breath.
right. It's like another all right. Under breath all right. The double all right.
Well,
one-
double all right. That's pretty good.
That's the one you don't know about.
Right.
The one you have to question, apparently.
Yes, indeed. All right, so let's
right.
talk about Dota a little bit, James. You're one of the most famous captains in the history of Dota, of course. You've
Yeah.
always been a great captain. But now the new cool thing are coaches. Everybody seems to have one. There's only 3 teams at the International that don't have a coach. What's your opinion on coaches, and what's the difference between a coach and a captain?
Well, they might be completely different.
Okay.
The coach can be quite separate of a leader. In that sense, he will just give you information what he thinks is good. In the meta, he just watches all the wars. He does something specific that you ask him to do right now.
Okay.
Coaches are, for now, not the people that have retired and gone into the leadership, gone to the coaching area as a leader, like in some kind of a football game or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, for now, it's every coach probably is different, doing something different.
Okay. How's your guys' coach? Are you having a good time utilizing that correctly?
Yeah, Theben has been our coach from like the old Secret, from this first Secret, from there, and he already knows what he's doing. We already know what he's going to do for us. He's just going to give us suggestions, and yeah, like, you know, I can't tell much.
Right, of course.
I just gotta be saying like we already very comfortable.
All right, good to hear. Okay, well, I like to think of you. You said you were on the last Secret, this Secret. You pretty much founded it. You're the father of Secret to me. Now, if your team were children and you had to adopt one and raise them, which one would you want?
Right now?
Yeah.
Before I would choose Zai, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
But now I would choose Jackie.
oh, okay, there you go. Is there anyone that you would not want absolutely to raise as a child?
That's a terrible question, though.
Well, no, I guess a father shouldn't have to choose, right?
Yeah, father should not choose.
Okay, you love all your teammates.
I can choose my favorite one, but I'm not gonna like make the bad guy.
There you
feel
go.
bad.
All right, good answer from a father. You see, you are the father of secret.
Yeah.
All right, so you have an all-star lineup on your team, and a lot of good players, and a lot of very unique personalities. Is that challenging as a coach to kind of, as a captain?
As a captain.
As a captain, to herd them in the right direction to make sure that they're doing what they need to do?
Probably hard for a coach too.
Yeah, indeed. So, is it difficult for you, or how do you do that?
It is pretty difficult, and it's always been difficult. And I think it's for us, like, we're not doing that well in this tournament right now, and this challenge is quite humongous. And to try to make everything work and synergize. And I probably did not think it would be that hard, but it's becoming quite hard. So this is what I kind of work for anyway. Yes, I'm losing. Yes, it's gonna be hard, but at least I get to do something constantly that is to progress further.
Yeah.
I have to look forward to it like that. Or else I would just break or something like that. But for instance, I'm just gonna understand that this is a challenge. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna try my best to solve it.
Yeah.
Because I like solving things like that.
I mean, you always have, and you found ways to innovate in the field, and it looks like you're still working at it. So, what are you thinking about for the rest of the tournament? You guys have been in the lower bracket a lot of times before, and you've always climbed your way back out. So, any plans in particular for where this one's going to go?
Best of ones. I think some planned out strategy usually by both teams are going to happen in all the best of ones. And we'll see from there, because after that comes all the preferred strategies where you have more chances to actually develop pick stage material, like meta win or something like that. But yeah, right now we're just going to try to win that best of one and just keep going through strategy, try to figure out the best thing that we can do.
All right, cool. Last question for you, I think. You've always been a great jungler, and I'm just interested in who do you think is going to be the next person that they put in the jungle, the random hero that's going to become the new jungler in the next meta? Because you're always predicting metas, right? I mean, everybody's got an iron talent.
Yeah, guys, like, if I would not want to like win Shanghai Major, guys, by the way, Doom is pretty good.
Jeez.
So that's not a good
call out.
I mean, I can't do it. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I understand. All right, no worries.
That's all right.
But what can you tell me then? Can you tell me anything about Dota that the average Dota person doesn't know? You've always been the guy who predicts the meta after the meta.
Yeah, I've done that quite a while.
And you're keeping your lips sealed on it, huh?
And I can't keep the secret out, you know.
Oh, well, I'm sure that we are not going to be keeping the secret out of the Manila Major. You guys are going to keep on moving forward, and we'll see just how well it goes for you guys. Thanks a lot for taking some time out with me, and we'll see some more from Secret here in Manila.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Classic puppy in the interview. Thanks to Sir Action Slacks, who's been fantastic today with all of the interviews and all the extra bits that he's been doing for us here in Manila. So Puppy didn't really reveal an awful lot in that, did he? I mean, he wasn't going to tell us what the next meta is because he's probably planning it for TI6 as it is.
No, and he probably knows what the meta is going to be better than anybody. Fourth highest win rate all time among players behind only Zhao 8, S4, and Zai with 100 or more games. Certainly the most decorated captain, maybe next to Zhao 8 in the game's history. But I know we got a little bit of a matchup for you here coming up in a couple minutes, and I happen to be on the panel with my favorite hard carry player of all time, and we're going to talk about Ramses and Envy. Very contrasting styles. The young gun, extremely talented. The older veteran player, much more team-oriented. Black, I want to know, how do you break down this carry matchup?
Okay, right now what it comes down to, after the Shanghai Major, everybody, including me, thought Eternal Envy was the hard carry to go to. He was just performing outstandingly. He just made it look easy for his team. Ramses, ever since he came, he was stable. Never really stood out of his team, but he was always very stable. But the thing with Jackie always was, or Eternal Envy, it seems like he always has a very thought out plan in his head, and if he can execute that without any like obstacles in the way, he will just completely destroy a game alone, and his team won't have to worry about anything. However, if their opponents put like an obstacle in the way, then he sometimes has like a hard time adjusting to that problem and remaking his plan, which then makes it really hard for him to play the game. Like all those eternal envy throws, they're actually not throws, it's just he's thinking about the next step very carefully, and then maybe you miss like 1 second and then just die, for example. Then people call it like Jackie throw or eternal envy throw. Obviously it's not the case. He's really thinking hard and carefully about what to do next. It's just when you're as thoughtful and plan out as him, having your plan destroyed is really, really bad, and you want to find something new to do. Like, I don't really know how to call it, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, draft is underway. And obviously Team Empire watched that interview because they banned him. Right. That was Puppy's next jungler.
Yeah, they first picked it pretty much every game when they can. They really like the Lion Doom opening.
Alan's not really looking.
No, Puppy's drafting again, right?
Yeah, Puppy is drafting.
But are they like 30 seconds left reserve time with the first ban?
Yeah.
They might have.
What?
They might have come late, or maybe they just don't want to ban.
Guys, there's a draft going on.
That's okay. They've got it. It's fine. Who needs reserve time anyway?
Like there's actually nothing going on, right? Like we're live.
I mean,
Black,
Winter,
yes.
is this a strat?
No bans. 3, 2,
guys.
no ban.
Okay, no ban. Wow.
Well, maybe that's what he meant is when he said, let's just do what we're most comfortable with and just draft the best thing for us.
I don't have a stat for this.
This
I've not seen this happen. Like the last time I've seen this happen was Ice 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 when he was playing for Team Zenith, right?
They were playing against us.
Yeah, and like he didn't ban any heroes.
No.
And
He
they
left
won.
all the OP heroes in the pool. Basically,
the thing
the
is-
idea was like he left us all the OP heroes. We got all the OP heroes, but the OP heroes didn't work together as a team.
Right. But they still won in the end.
But it's not just no bans. You have to burn all your reserve time to do this.
You
But
cannot.
then you must have a specific plan in mind of 5 that you want that have got a reserve on each anyway, that if they ban out 5, you can still run the same that you want. So, I mean, this is...
Okay, I'm just tilted.
I mean, the thing is as well, he stopped from removing 2 heroes that their team might want as well, right?
Yeah, but look at Empire now. They're like, huh? Do we just not ban either? They're taking a lot of
Or
risks.
they don't.
Just leave the whole pool open.
They don't really care
They're all
about.
disconnected. Yeah, that makes more sense.
yeah.
Thankfully,
Thank
thankfully
goodness.
we finally get to know that it was a disconnection, because I was starting to think, hold on a minute. All right, okay.
Okay.
So they're going to remake, and it does give you a chance to just calm down a little bit, boys, and not get too carried away, because that...
I was trying
But
to.
the thing
I
is
was
as
trying to
well-
look behind, like,
But the
is
thing
there
is,
something wrong?
you wouldn't put it past Puppy to do something like that.
I mean,
You just wouldn't.
this is the major. It's a best of 1 loser bracket final. You do not want to do this. Trust me. Last time I've seen this was in an online tournament, and they barely won. And I don't know how Empire would feel if that actually was like the case.
Okay, well, they're going to remake, which gives us a chance to talk about statistics, Alan. You'll like this one in particular. In the last match, in the VGR game, we actually had a new record set for most amount of appearances in Valve tournaments games. DDC, 124.
Of course.
Puppy is playing his 124th game right now, so he's tied with him, and Hao is 1 behind, who plays tomorrow.
Wow.
So the 3 of them. So it depends how far they all go through as to who ends the tournament with the most amount of games ever played at Valve events.
And each of them just absolutely iconic
Absolutely,
in their own
yeah.
right. DDC
Yep.
up with MMY
Yep.
as the Chinese support players. How the most efficient carry, like the baseball sabermetrics guy of Dota, the most efficient carry of all time. And of course, Puppy, probably best captain.
Do you want to do a little bit of a quiz? There are only 6 players in the world that have had more than 70 wins at Valve events in Dota 2 history.
Puppy's won.
Yep. That was the easy one. I gave you that one.
I'm gonna go ahead. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and guess the 3 that have the most appearances.
Okay.
That you just rattled off.
Nope.
How?
Because DDC has 69.
Shall
come on.
shall it?
No, he does have 70.
The
I was
director?
teasing you.
Director 8?
Hao actually has 68, so he's not too far behind.
All right.
Sylar has the most wins of all players all-time at Valve events.
Also, by
79.
far the best. Like his KAD is stupid.
It is ridiculously high. Yeah. Puppy, Jelly, Universe, RO2K, and Super. Those are the players, and obviously now joined by DDC, who just hit his 70th win at Valve events. I mean, it's astonishing when you think that's 5 years worth of internationals plus the majors that we've already had in the last 3 as well. There's now only 5 players in history who've been to all Valve events. We're starting to lose these players now. We have to hold on to them.
They're precious.
Yeah, they're becoming rare things that have been to every Valve event.
But the thing is, we as the viewers, we can't do much. We have to just trust them.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Wow.
Spirit Bomb EE.
Is that where we're going with that? Okay, we've remade the draft. We're back in.
We
do have 2 bans on each team, thankfully, and a first pick life stealer from Empire.
They actually banned out the position 4 support of Empire. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name.
Miposhka.
Is it Miposhka?
Yeah.
Like they're targeting Miposhka right from the start.
I'm telling you guys, Empire, the key to beating them is controlling Miposhka and King R. They are so dynamic as a team when those supports are moving around the map making picks happen.
I agree completely. He has been in the spotlight many, many times.
Yeah. A Dazzle first pick from Secret. Haven't seen too many of those, but
it might lead to a Huskar later because Secret actually has a history of running Huskar.
Yeah. But Empire are going to see that.
Kind of a pocket strategy.
Empire are going to see that. Second phase.
Hopefully.
For their sake.
Yeah, for their sake.
Black's already worried. He's like,
Watermelon Man.
And this is really what they started going to at Shanghai. When they were playing, they were struggling a little bit, not necessarily to the same extent, but coming into that tournament, they went to the Tide Enigma combo early on in the group stage, really refocused around those teams, that team play, those team fights.
I love the Disruptor pickup right after because he actually counters Tidehunter. If you put him in a kinetic field and put your ult on top of him, even though he has his OP passive, it is really OP by the way.
OP passive?
It's a super OP Kraken Shell, man.
No, but Static Storm applies the silence continuously.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
He won't be able to Ravage.
Right, and Empire, by the way, seeing how successful VGR were with this open in the last game.
Right. Although they have the Dazzle to already counteract that. Because he can probably just grave him and then he has 5 seconds to get Ravage up anyway. It's gonna be like, who's out of position, who's not.
Come on, Winter, you're my clutch ace in the hole here when it comes to calling these drafts. What are you seeing, man?
I'm thinking what Secret is trying to do, like what type of system they're trying to run, because they're going back to the old system where they open drafts with Dazzle. And we've been always talking about Secret. Their recent problems has been always the lack of farm distribution, like the way they distribute the farm. So I'm curious to see if they're actually going to just focus more on the 3 cores, put all the farm on the 3 cores and play 2 poor support. Because the past 2 months they've been playing out Puppy and like jungling and much more greedy support. So is the Dazzle opening going to mean that they're actually going to just put way less farm on both of their supports and just put all the farm on the 3 cores?
I would love for Secret to go back to the Slark. You and I spoke about this, Alan. Slark has been a staple hero of Eternal Envy in their Shanghai success, and like the bans indicate it could be a Slark. Darkseer and Axe both are very, very strong against Slark.
I see the 2 heroes that I talked about that I want to see Envy play in a BO1 are Slark or Drow. I feel like those were his 2 strongest heroes and the 2 heroes that they played around best as a team in Shanghai.
It might be just
it might be a draw. We have a
BS
Roche
lineup. They're Dire, Dazzle, Venge, and they have a big ultimate.
Going Invoker.
On Secret?
They might, I like nothing against Arteezy, but I don't think his Invoker is like super sharp right now.
It's been he's had a couple of really good games on it recently. They just hadn't played well around.
He's won 3 out of 5.
Right.
So
I just think the problem with Arteezy Invoker is he farms really late. He gets into late game, which is the problem of the hero getting there. But I just feel in late game he doesn't have enough experience to use the spells properly as people like we would, for example, who played like a ton of games on the hero.
I'm not going to let them have the DP, that's for sure. So that's gone.
But there's still a lot of heroes that can use the Roshan right now. There's Ursa, there's Lycan.
I mean, with Wench, pretty much all heroes can do an easy Roche though.
Basically, that's what we see right now, how they are building their lineup. They have 2 supports that help Roche, very good in the lane. They have a big AoE control that helps when you are being contested at the Roshan. So it deters the opponent from trying to fight you at the Roshan.
What is also really good, we spoke about the kinetic field and Disruptor ult on Tide. Now they actually have 2 measures against it. They can either swap him out or grave him. and that's going to lead to a really good ravage usually. Because most people are going to clump around him, they're going to punch him, you know, try to kill him as fast as possible. You stop that, you ravage them, you win a team fight.
So I think most likely they're just going to go for cores that are going to take up a lot of space because they have two supports right now that basically don't need much farm. They need some experience, and they're going to just do their job just fine. They don't need farm at all. So that is the direction I can see Secret taking this.
Then Slark would be a really good hero for that. Because Drow is more team-oriented, and Tidehunter is typically not the best Drow hero because obviously he's melee.
But it does help with the overall strat, right?
Exactly.
And he does have with the weaknesses too.
You get a mech and you group up and you push with draw with Tide.
But that's the big issue that most Drow lineups have to address is they have to find some way to initiate.
Right.
Tidehunter solves that. He's relatively autonomous in the off lane.
Right.
Or you don't have to initiate because you just have to siege the tower. You force the enemy to jump onto you, and you're getting an early mech on the Tide, and you're just waiting for them to come on. You pop your mech and you pop your Ravage to counter initiate. You don't have to make the first move because you're sieging.
I mean, they're obviously thinking hard. They've already used 2 minutes of the bonus time in this pick.
Yeah, because this is the junction where they should decide whether they're going to build a Roche strat, or they're going to go for a very early game strat, or they're going to go for late
Phantom
game.
Lancer.
Wow. Bring up the PL.
I actually think DK is one of the better heroes against the PL lineup in general.
It's pretty good versus Lifestealer though.
That is true, but if a Lifestealer ever gets Mjolnir, then PL is not that big of a problem.
Yeah, and that's part of why the current Lifestealer is so hard to address is that he has a lot of freedom in terms of his item builds. And once he gets that armlet up, he's fairly free in terms of what he builds next.
We spoke about it as well. If they ever get the initiation on the PL with an infested Naix, for example in the Dragon Knight, the PL, he's gonna be very, very low HP and his illusions will just die instantly. As soon as they spawn, they will die.
Even more silence for the Tide.
We'll go with Ricky.
Basically what's going to happen is the Ricky is going to try to find the Dazzle and the Venge in team fights. They're going to focus on
to get infested with the Naix.
Yeah, the target in front, and the Ricky is going to try and eliminate the Dazzle or the Venge.
Right. Or at least silence them in critical moments.
Yeah. So we see a very clear game plan about how Empire is going to approach the team fights, what they're going to be attempting to do, and it looks really promising of strategy that they want to deal with the Dazzle and the Venge.
It feels like it's very hard to execute against Venge and Dazzle.
Yes.
Like their lineup is definitely way harder to execute.
We totally forgot about Beastmaster.
Yeah, and they didn't.
Wait, no, nobody picked Beast so far.
And Bounty Hunter too, 7-0 coming into today, getting through these drafts.
Yeah.
That's a really good ban, by the way.
Okay.
Yep, that's to protect the Lifestealer and the DK. And like I mentioned, I think Secret are going to gear up towards a tri-core. 3 heroes they're going to farm a lot.
I mean, Secret probably has to go back to an Invoker now. Unless never mind, they just banned Razor. But usually I think they would prefer Razor right now because it's one of Arteeze's premier heroes as well.
Yeah, DP and Razor really he brought into the meta a couple patches ago by really showing the farming potential of those heroes.
Right. But right now what do we have left? It's pretty much just Invoker.
Yeah, but for Empire, they're going to look to pick up their offlane, their initiating hero.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's still a bad rider. There's still a bad rider if they wanted that, but it's not that good against...
There's Venge, though.
They already have Venge. They have Tidehunter as well. Beastmaster's banned.
I mean, there's Prophet, but doesn't feel like it synergizes well with their lineup.
This is true.
Something Afterlife plays a lot.
I guess you could Night Stalker.
I mean, then again, Bad Rider is never bad with a Lifestealer, though. You can actually get the initiation going, and...
I mean, Slardar is still there.
Or a Sand King.
Oh.
But that's really good versus the illusions, though.
Oh, we spoke about it the other day.
Yeah,
if you get Aghanims,
right?
If you get Aghanims,
of course.
then the whole PL he just explodes. All his illusions and the hero he just explodes instantly. This is actually hardcore.
Exactly the conversation you and I had.
Exactly.
But the only issue is how is this hero going to get towards his bling, because his farming abilities in the jungle right now is really, really bad. He farms very slow in the jungle, so he has to somehow get a very good laning phase.
So gone for a slightly safer gyro.
This is Arteezy PL mid.
Yep.
Looks like it.
And Envy's going to use gyro.
Not that good.
Okay. We're going to go down the line. I'm going to start with Black this time. Now, these are predictions post-draft. I've given you a bit of a chance here. Where are we going? Very quickly.
I really like Empire. I'm going for Empire.
Okay.
I like Empire too, even though I was advised not to follow Black, but I'm still going to follow Black.
Okay.
I have to go for Empire. This is just so in their comfort zone right now.
Wow. 3 Empire.
I can't believe it.
3 Empire. Okay.
I'm 2-4. I just want to say it.
Right, okay.
We all were wrong the last game.
They've all gone the same way. Who would have thought it? Let's head over to our commentary team now for the final game of the day. Team Secret versus Team Empire.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Indeed, I'm OD Pixel. I'm going to be joined by Ben. Ben, are you ready for Secret versus Empire? Can I just say, is the crowd ready for Secret versus Empire? Thank you. Well, without any further ado, let's get ourselves into the action then. Here we go.
Team Empire versus Team Secret.
And here we have it indeed, ladies and gentlemen, the final best of one of the day. Let's go for a quick rundown of the heroes and the boys. Afterlife, Ramses, the talented kid. He's had a lot of hype built around him. We'll see if it stands up now against Secret. Scandal is back. He's been around for years, the man, and he's been able to drive this team of a mixture of new and old talent that's done incredibly well at recent performances. Secret, though, Ben, these guys, they've got a lot of hype around them. They're yet to turn up really at this LAN. Are they going to turn up now, Ben?
I say they have a lot of good heroes for Empire. They've been first picking the Disruptor a lot. They have a lot of silences to deal with the Tidehunter. They have the Sand King to deal with the Phantom Lancer. I must favor Empire's draft over Team Secret's. Early in the game, Puppy did TP and try and drop some Observer Wards deep in the Empire jungle. However, he was scattered out by Ramses and was not able to plop any eyes down.
All right, well, as we get this one started, we'll see who's going to be able to grab the 2 runes. Looks like top, Ricky. He might go for a little bit of a cheeky steal. We'll see if he gets away with this one. And we'll see it. Oh, he does as well. Meposhka taking the bounty rune there away from Artur. So Empire starting off with both of the bounty runes here in the laning stage. And talking about the lanes, Ben, looks like we're going to be seeing, in fact, Envy heading down to the bottom lane on the Gyrocopter. So who's dodging who here?
Sand King is a very good matchup versus the Phantom Lancer, but Phantom Lancer is mid. I think the Sand King wins this Tidehunter matchup.
We'll see indeed how the mid lane does go now with RTZ on his PL against Scandal on the DK, throwing the lance through. And it's going to be really interesting to see as well how this bottom lane pans out. MV being backed up by Pylai and the Venge, going head-to-head against the dual lane of Empire with both Ramses on the lifestealer and the backup, of course, from the Disrupt. I mean, on this bottom lane, do you feel that this is Secret's favorable lane? Envy should be able to find the majority of farm?
As long as the Riki doesn't cause too much havoc. He was parking between the mid T1 and the T2 waiting for the chicken.
Oh, look at this. Puppy's come down as well in Secret. Maybe thinking about a bit of action, but Pi still level 1, just with the Terror. Envy just coming in with the pause here. Hopefully it's going to be something pretty brief as we can get our way on with this one. But all things said and done, do you feel that for the side of Secret or Empire, Secret putting this pressure on the bottom lane, it's obviously going to mean it's unlikely that King R can leave the lane, head towards mid to help out. Is that all right for Empire, or should the DK be fine anyway against the PL?
The DK should definitely be fine versus the PL. In terms of the bottom lane, I think this is something that we saw Alliance do with their Rubik's Slardar Dazzle tri-lane to try and pressure the Lifestealer. And I think it was versus Liquid that they had a lot of success. The Lifestealer died maybe 4 times in the laning phase in the first 10 minutes.
I mean, what can we see Secret try and achieve as well with this lane? I mean, is it enough just to stop the Lifestealer farming, or do you need to be finding kills with this aggressive tri-lane as well?
I think it's enough to stop him from farming. Also, Disruptor is very, very weak in the early game. You should be getting kills. I think if you don't get any kills, it's not worth it.
Okay, and as you said, of course, on the top lane, having that Sand King versus Tide 1v1 matchup. I mean, talk to me more about that. I mean, is this a matchup that's going to be fairly even, or do you see there being a quick, kind of clear winner in this lane?
Sand King should almost always win any matchup versus a melee in a one-on-one situation. He should not be really too scared of anyone moving around. I guess maybe the Riki, but if Riki shows himself on bottom, they're going to be A-okay. They do have an Observer and a Sentry, so they do see Meposhka right now. So he can play like a real 1v1 instead of having to be like, is there a Riki here? He could carry a TP score if he really were that scared, though.
Absolutely, and of course we can see as well from Secret they do have a Sentry as well down actually in the lane on the bottom, so they know exactly when Meposhka comes in. Now, looks like we're ready to get ourselves back on with the action, and we'll indeed see what happens here, because obviously, as you pointed out, Meposhka is making the movement down towards the bottom, but it will, of course, all be spotted out here by the side of Secret. And here we have back into this one. As we can see so far, it's early days, but CS-wise, 4-for-0 on Envy. Ramses is indeed managing to keep toe and toe, 4-0 at the moment. So the Lifestealer not having too much of a hard time against the Gyrocopter. And mid lane, Artur versus Scandal. 3 for 3 against a 3 for 3. So again, a very, very even lane. I mean, even the top lane is not much different at the moment in the first wave. So I guess it's going to be down to these rotations, down to what Miposhka can do. We can see at the moment he is hanging around between the tier 1 and the tier 2, maybe to see if he can get away with a courier snipe. And we'll see indeed if that is going to come out anytime soon here. But Arteezy looks to be a bit of got away. He's like, okay, he's going to actually just get the Quelling Blade sent out. So this point, Arteezy may be at the risk of losing his item and the courier. Bottom lane, a bit of aggression from Secret though. They're eyeing up King R, bringing him low with the Rocket Barrage. King R will be able to make the distance, and let's have a look at mid lane. Oh, Secret's courier. They could be the first to die this game. Miposhka won, give it a second, and that is the courier down. Miposhka getting away with that one, and Secret, even though they don't see the Riki on the map, they don't play around the fact that he could be looking for the snipe.
Actually, Pilot, I did draw an arrow of Riki's exact route where he was going to head in between the mid T1 and the T2, so Secret supports cannot be very happy about that one. It's pretty hard to play around a Riki. Bounty Hunter, he's somewhat limited by mana, even if he does have clarity, but Riki, he could be anywhere.
We're talking about Riki, it's actually headed up towards the top lane, Universe. He's already, of course, fairly tanky, very hard for the two of them to get away with killing him as such. And in terms of the CS, he's not had too much trouble against the Caustic Finale. 12 for 2. At the moment, standing pretty close to the farm of Afterlife on his Sand King. But bottom lane, as we can see, that is where kind of the big difference in farm is being created. Ramses is certainly struggling now against this aggressive tri-laner Secret, and Envy is breaking away. I mean, if you're Empire, you've got this lifestealer that is struggling. How do you resolve this situation early on?
It's okay for a Lifestealer to get sacked. He used to get sacked when he was very, very popular just because he doesn't really die in team fights that often. He can neutral very easily with Feast, so he's not that big of a liability if he's under farm. And you can always just hop in someone like the Riki, like we saw earlier today, to catch up in experience levels. No problem.
You can see as well a bit of a rotation movement from the Disruptor on the side of Empire, you know, obviously leaving Ramses on his own, but as you said, maybe Empire just realizing that they're going to need to sack that position, and just coming out with a fortification to try and buy some time, because Secret, they're putting a lot of pressure on this bottom tower. Ramses, he's trying to hide. They have found him out. Go for the Magic Missile, of course. Ramses, he's got the Rage, so pretty hard for Secret to catch out, unless he is massively out of position on the Lifestealer. Ramses in the moment just trying to soak up as much XP as he can. And Secret will be able to take a very, very early on tier 1 here, so more gold into their pockets, and Envy's of course to be very happy with this start. And it'll be interesting to see just how active of a Gyrocopter he plays. Mid lane, Arteezy in trouble. He's going to get Dragon Tail stunned out. He's in the cloud, and one more touch, and that's your first blood. Miposhka pulling it out there with the Riki rotations, and Arteezy just not expecting it at all, Ben.
It's a very smart, patient maneuver by Riki. He waited until 4.5 minutes. Sentries only last 4 minutes, so generally they drop it right around when the creep spawn or shortly after the first rune spawns. So it's about time that they would expire, and he knew that Puppey had 3 Sentry Wards on him, so they were super unlikely to have dropped the Sentry Ward there.
See top lane, King R having eyes on to Universe. Also interesting to know that King R yet to skill, so really just waiting to see what the opportune skills will be.
There's no epicenter yet. So this is not really that opportune of a kill for them. Perhaps with Miposhka.
Maybe, yeah, maybe with the Riki as well. But as you said, I mean, SK is just half a level away from having the experience for the epicenter.
Maybe Universe realizes that Riki's around here because he's not yet level 6.
And it's going to be a hard gank as well now with Universe himself just about to hit level 6 on the lane. Going to be seeing a bit of action onto Ramses. He's got the Rage. We'll see if they're able to buy the time to get the Magic Missile, but a smart move from Ramses here, just slowing down Pi with the open wounds, so no chance of the Venge catching up to get the stun following through after the duration of the Rage.
And Secret got what they came for. They are limiting the Lifestealer's farm as well as taking down the T1 early. Not so important for the Roche, but more for the Ancients. They can get Tidehunters early blink by farming the Ancients, or just get Gyro nice and big. PL can also do the Ancients very early on.
You can see actually towards the mid lane. Both mid laners are going to head down towards the bottom room. We'll see if anything kicks off there. Bottom lane still. Ramses, he's feeling a bit more safe now. He has got King R around, and in fact, they're going to go for some action. A beautiful glimpse, bringing Envy back under the tower. The TP's come through Afterlife with a Burrow Strike onto 2. Envy, he's falling low and he's gone. They've found themselves 1 kill. Can they get themselves anything else? Ramses and Miposhka chasing down Puppey with the open wounds. They should be able to get this one. Puppey just graves himself, tries to turn. Arteezy is coming in with a rotation. Can Secret do anything about this action? It doesn't look like they can. They've lost a second hero, Secret. And Empire displaying very nicely, and just the sneakiness of that disruptor, waiting for the perfect timing to get that glimpse on Envy, bringing him right onto the tier 2.
Yeah, very good kill for them. Important.
Yeah, 3-0 now.
And buys a lot of time for Universe. That's not really a matchup that you want to stay there for too long. Sand King still holding his skill point at 6. Not yet maxing Caustic or putting a point in Sandstorm or Epicenter.
But as you said, obviously, yeah, the plus for Secret here being that Universe, he is going to get that recent kind of decent timing on the mechanism. And if he's able to get himself involved in the fights, there's a lot of team fight potential. Just hitting a Ravage, allowing Envy to get out the following cooldown and chase down some of the heroes. And Envy, in fact, he's actually going to head up towards this top lane. So he will be now in the realms of both Puppey and Universe if anything kicks off. But Empire looks like they've got more interest in trying to kick something off in the mid lane. Miposhka hanging around with Scandal. Scandal feels that he can find an opening to allow the follow through. They've also got Disruptor as well. King R is in the neighborhood, so a lot of catch potential to deal with this PL. But looks like really most action going on the top, where Secret now as a 4-man, just looking to keep getting the objectives. You know, coming up to the 8-minute mark, they're already looking to take down their second tier 1 away from the side of Empire. And it looks like they're going to get away with it then. So even though they may not have the kills, they're getting the tower goal.
Ravage is extremely strong at this point in the game, especially with the supports on Empire being very low level. There's not a good way to stop it. Level 2 smoke screen not going to be enough. No static storm up yet on Disruptor, and no Epicenter to burst him down early. And no blink. I'm surprised there's not more stacking coming out from either team. But Secret doing a good job of making Empire reluctant to make any moves.
And Poshka is coming into the Secret's jungle, just getting a bit of intel, spotting out what's going on. Eyes onto Pylide at the moment, and the rest of Empire is now beginning to converge in up towards this area of the jungle, so we may see something kick off. A bit of a wraparound from the DK. He does have a DD available. And Poshka just keeping eyes onto Puppey. Here he comes, Scandal, DD in the bottle, ready to go out of Dragon Form, and here we have it. A couple of hits and a strike. Puppey's down. Give themselves a 4th one on the board now, Empire and Secret. They don't seem to have an answer for this one. We've got Envy hiding in the trees, in fact just TPing away from the whole engagement towards the mid lane. And Secret at the moment just avoiding fights from Empire.
They're doing a good job of not fighting around the side Empire is. They're taking down a lot of T1s on the side of Secret, but the downside is they have so much more area to cover with Sentry Wars. The supports just can't keep everyone safe, and they can farm more area, but this also just leaves way more room for the Riki to run around and wreak havoc on Secret. Already with Phase Boost just scouting out any weak heroes, and we see one Sentry dropped in mid for Artur.
Universe level 9, doing very well indeed in the progress towards that mechanism. Mid lane, Poshka again. I mean, the man that's really been causing a huge amount of havoc for the side of Secret. He's 2-0-1 on the Riki at the moment, so making a lot of action happen. And eyes onto Puppey. Scandal is also around, but at the same time, Puppey, he's got teammates, he has got backup, and they do know that Poshka's here, so Puppey trying to play kind of the fool here, see if Miposhka gets baited to hang around, but Miposhka realizes something's up, and he'll back himself away. But we've got the 10-minute mechanism now online for Universe, so we'll see if Secret want to try and get something done with that one. Ramses is closing in on the armlet.
And the Riki also scouts out that they have no dust on Secret, just a couple of sentries, which is very easy for the Riki to avoid. If he's near an ally or even a neutral creep, he can just blink strike away, and Secret just wastes a lot of their time. And he knows where Puppey placed that sentry.
We can see now, of course, though, 10 minutes Universe, yes, he may have that mechanism. If you look towards Afterlife, and he's got the Blink Dagger done. So Secret, they've got to be very aware of the movements of Empire. And Empire smoking up, moving into the jungle. They found out Envy immediately getting caught out. They'll lay down the Static Storm as well. And Empire, they'll find one of the questions, can they find anything else? Secret turning around the Ravage. Coming out, so they're going to connect on to 2, but it will kill King R. Can they get Scandal as well? A nice heal bomb coming out from Puppey, but the chase is not going to be available because Afterlife coming in with the epicenter, the Burrow Strike as well. Universe will pop the mechanism. Afterlife incredibly low. The heal bomb again. Afterlife, can he get himself out of it with the stick charges? He may just survive. Wave of Terror is not going to be enough. Secret, eyes onto Miposhka. Have they got the detective of the man? If this kicks back in, they've laid down a sentry. Miposhka right on the edge. He's actually come back under it. Let me see if he realizes that he's out of vision, and I think he will. No, again the sentry. Oh, jumps down Miposhka with the plays, just avoiding Secret. So I mean, Secret, I do get one in return, but again, losing the core like that, that was a fight with a Ravage and a mechanism. It just feels like it's not good enough for Secret at this point of the game.
Definitely not, and Ramses did a very good job of backing out. They have so many ways to deal with his rage. A lot of minus armor, a lot of damage coming out, even the anchor smash to limit his damage output. Phantom Lancer can kite him endlessly. So that was the call for Empire. If he had stayed a little bit longer, Empire would have kind of been forced to hang around, keep him alive. But he did a good job. He knows that he's under farm. He just needs some more time to catch back. I mean, more importantly, he needs to not die.
One lane, into Ramses. Universe is coming as well. Try for this one, but Ramses got the back of the King Art. The kinetic field getting laid down, and Ramses, he just rages and starts to chomp away. Every tries for the CP is not going to be successful. And another death here for the Gyrocopter. RTZ's coming. Maybe see if he can get a bit of a cleanup job done, but he's not going to be able to chase. And again, they're losing Envy like this, and Secret unable to find anything in return that time.
Yeah, not too many fighting builds or items coming out from them. See, no points in Poison Touch from Dazzle, no points in Homing Missile, not even Max Rocket Barrage coming out from Gyrocopter, and no points in Phantom Rush from Phantom Lancer. So they just have an extremely difficult time chasing, especially with no Blink Dagger up on Tidehunter, opting for that team fight build instead with the mech. So maybe once they get level 6 on Vengeful Spirit, they can get some more kills. I see the Tome flying out to Pilot Eye, but that will only get them level 5.5.
We'll see if Empire's well want to look for a bit more action as Afterlife does have Epicenter coming back off cooldown in 10 seconds. You can see already Empire certainly look ready to go. Grouped up as 4 towards the mid. Secret will be ready to form some kind of a defense. Universe will have the Ravage back in 5. Envy and Pi in the sidelines. See if they want to make a go. Eyes onto Scannel. They're leading with the Spirit Lamp from Artesian. There's the follow-up stun. Envy looking for the cooldown, but again, the Static Storm's laid out. Ravage will come through. They should be able to get Scannel. They will. They'll also take down the Disrupt on the sidelines. Ramsey's raging up, trying to get himself out, but Afterlife goes straight in with the Epicenter. There wasn't enough damage. It's Secret. They'll punish Empire's aggression this time to take out a 4th. And that was the exact fight that Secret needed to bring themselves back into a game where they were struggling early on in these early kind of rotations that Empire were catching them off guard with every time.
That was fantastic positioning by Universe, skirting outside the kinetic field and the Static Storm, and anyone that helped DK was going to die. He also managed to catch Lifestealer before he raged.
Big mess up there for Empire, and Secret quick to punish.
Yep. Nice swap by Pilot Eye.
It really was. Yeah, I mean, Envy looked to be on the verge of dying there. Did the team playing around it very nicely. I mean, interesting was, look at the net worth. Because of this action, Universe, he's the richest man in the game. He's got 6.3k at the moment on his Tidehunter.
Yep. And before that fight started, they had pinged out the Riki on the top lane. He was level 5, trying to get level 6, but no way for him to easily get to that mid tower. Secret feeling very confident in that 4 on 5. They had also committed a lot of sentries. There were 3 around where Artesia is right now, and 2 in that mid lane. No way they could have get jumped by Riki over there.
We'll see what Universe wants to do as well with the gold saved up by. I guess in this situation he does go for the Blink before finishing off the Greaves. Any reason to get Greaves first?
I think Blink just because the Lifestealer doesn't really feel threatened right now. There's no way for him to pop his rage, and he can just dodge the Vengeful Spirit stun if he gets swapped. He can also dodge it, Spirit Lance, anything that they throw at him, aside from Blink Ravage in melee range. He should be able to dodge.
Poshka coming in with a smoke just to get some vision out. Will be detected here by the scam from Secret. Poshka just going to continue to try and get some vision onto RTZ.
Afterlife has been having a big struggle keeping up in levels. I think if it were like level 2 Epicenter at that time, Universe is level 11, so he should be very, very close. But he's actually only level 8 at this point. Just at night.
I mean, yeah, that was the thing. It was a good Epicenter from Afterlife. It just wasn't quite enough damage. It brought Envy incredibly low to the edge, but just quite enough to finish him off.
And Envy will continue his trend of building a lot of strength on his Gyrocopter.
For this, they might find RTZ and the jungle on his own. Empire closing in on the PL. They can punish this one, and indeed they can. Jumping in, no messing around with the Epicenter. Trick to the trade as well. And that's the PL out of the game for 40 seconds. Punishing Death Timer here for the man, and Empire look to get a bit of pressure onto the tier 2. I mean, Secret, they just can't afford to lose the course like this, surely.
Well, if he spends his gold, it's okay, but unfortunately he did not go for a farming build. No BOTs on him, opting for the Diffusal, knowing they have stronger team fight with the Tidehunter, and the Riki can generally catch him out split pushing, especially with a DK Disruptor, pretty much anyone on the team to follow up on the smoke spell.
Universe indeed did get that blink online. So Ravage is back available. Empire still just waiting for the epicenter, I would imagine, before they want to try and go for a big kind of group up, especially when they know that they're going to be fighting into this pretty impressive powerhouse from the side of Secret now that Universe is just reaching this kind of insane point of the game. We look back over towards Afterlife. He's of course going for that build where he gets the axe straight after the Blink Dagger. Point booster is in his inventory.
I wonder if Secret's going to go for Roche, not that they know Epicenter's down. They did lose RTZ, but at least they can get something out of it if they try and fight around there. It's going to be difficult, though, with the Disruptor, Static Storm, and perhaps Riki scouting it out. They do have a Sentry and an Obs outside the pit, but it's going to expire in 1 minute time.
Let's see indeed what the action is. 4 heroes around the pit at the moment for Secret.
And Puppy has gone for the Medallion first build, very popular build for him on the Dazzle. So I think they can do it. Level 4 Wave of Terror plus Medallion should make pretty quick work.
Oh, and the scan is still, oh, that's perfect timing there really for Secret if they want to go for the Roche. Empire used the scan just outside the pit, but it runs out just as Secret move in with the smoke, so Empire unlikely to realize that this is going on, and Secret, they should get away with that. I mean, that was literally just as the scan wore out, Secret with a huge stroke of luck there, really.
They'd still have to walk into Ravage, even if they knew they were in there. So at this point, they definitely know that they're in there, but they can't do anything about it. No Epicenter up, cooling down in 5. That was a very small window that Secret took, and good itemization, of course.
Top lane Scandal, to use the space as efficiently as you can, and we'll take down the tier 2 away from Secret. So continuing to hang around. I mean, this ward is going to spot out anyone that's going to come and try and look to move towards him.
And a highly contested point in the earlier Riki versus DK game was that Fada did not end up building a BKB on the Dragon Knight. And Scandal will not opt for that same item build, instead going for the BKB immediately after the armlet, which I think is a very good choice versus the Tide. He already has the armor to deal with the Weave, the Wave of Terror, and the Medallion.
I mean, looking at the two lineups as well, Ben. I mean, as this game goes on, are Secret kind of comfortable taking this one late? I mean, is there any reason for them to try and rush the action against Empire? Is there a risk if they don't?
I think the cores are going to have a lot of struggles. Like the Lifestealer, I think, can do a lot of damage versus Gyrocopter. He has a lot of armor to tank flag, and Gyrocopter is not the best at handling single damage output, especially when he went for a Dragonlance HOD build, a very defensive, high HP, high armor build. And the Phantom Lancer, he has to deal with a splash from the Dragon Knight, he has to deal with a constant smoke screen, which you can't diffuse off or manta off, and the AoE from the Sand King. So I think the Secret cannot feel comfortable at all going to the later game. And then the Titan are getting countered by BKBs from the Dragon Knight, Riki perhaps later, and of course the raid from the Lifestealer.
Look at the Scandal as well in this top lane. This is a man that really shows no fear. He was just hanging around, deep into the lane on his own, and just with the confidence that Secret wouldn't be able to deal with him. And indeed they weren't. Highlight was looking to set up some action, but the creep spotted him out, so not a chance to set up anything there. One on the bottom lane, RTZ beginning to get a bit more space, and he's really stepped up the farm rate now. On top of the Diffuser Blade, 2k gold. And that will, of course, go straight into, I'd imagine, the booster travel. So yeah, indeed, booster travel and Diffusal now online for RTZ. So he's going to start to farm incredibly fast, and it's just a question of how well Empire can catch him out. But as we've seen, Empire, they have got some good heroes for catching out PR.
The Riki Lifestealer Infest Bomb should be enough to kill anyone, maybe not the Tidewater. He's going for stab to counter the smoke screen. He's also just good against the open wounds, he's good against Dragon Knight.
I mean, as we've seen, yeah, as you said, having that force, it's going to be crucial for a Universe to hit these Ravages. Each time that he has, it's pretty much been a team fight in favor of Secret and Secret. Talking about the boys, they are going for a smoke, moving into Empire's jungle. Empire with 3 towards the mid and 2 towards the top. It may be a hard catch. We'll see how far Empire want to move away from their tier 2. Ramses?
Oh, he just used Rage.
I was going to say,
they cannot hang around that T2.
This is a good window for Secret if they can get themselves over there, but it looks like they're not too aware of the whereabouts of Empire. Maybe now, as Afterlife reveals him, so they can go for a jump onto the Sand King. This is what the players. Universe jumps in. He shares with the Gersh, holding up the Ravage for the time being. Feels but he's not going to need it in Afterlife. One Burrow strike to escape. The homing missile is already onto him. Get the blink off in Afterlife. Looks like he'll be able to avoid that one. So I mean, Universe and the boys, they've got to head back. Because look at the top lane. There's a bit of a heavy push coming in, and Puppey, he's actually going to be the first to tank this. And now Universe into the cloud. He's got to be careful. Scandal pops the BKB, and Universe will hold on to the Ravage, of course, for this time being. But Empire doing a significant amount of damage to the tier 3 in Secret. Coming in with Arteezy as well. Let's see what they can do to punish this one. They'll move in onto King Eye. He's going to go for the TP out. He's not going to make it. Secret will be able to kill the Disruptor. Scandal with a stun onto Envy. Washer just dropping down the cloud, and it looks like Empire just want to get themselves the hell out of here. The Secret can pick up more, and it looks like they may do. This could be huge for them. With the cooldown, the Spirit Lance onto Scandal. They'll get the DK as well. So Secret, even though they take a fair bit of damage to their tier 3, they do manage to take 2 kills back in return.
Yeah, maybe not some great communication coming out from Empire over there. King would just narrowly escape the gank, and it was actually kind of crazy that Secret could not kill him. He was farming out creeps with no stun up, and he just kind of walked away and then stunned away after a few seconds. But Secret's damage output is very lacking at the moment if they don't have Arteezy there on top of them with the diffusal charges, or if they don't blow the Ravage.
You can see as well, really, the only on the side of Secret that's kind of falling behind slightly is Envy. He's about a 1k or so behind that of the side of Empire. So we'll see if he's able to catch up to the cause. It's still a small window, and it's still very early days. It's 22.5 minutes in.
He needs an HOD creep to stack the Ancients. Yep. There's no creep at the Ancients right now, and he needs that to keep up his farm. Or else the Lifestealer is just going to eat him alive.
So there's going to be a bit of an issue now. The fact that Miposhka, he has finished up the Diffusal Blade on Ricky. I mean, this is now going to allow him to have the potential of getting solo kills on some of the backliners in Secret.
It's also just a ton of damage output during the tricks of the trade. They need to be able to kill the Dazzle very early on so the Lifestealer can latch on to targets very early. Even preventing the Wii from being cast will help Lifestealer a lot in the long run.
Here we have Empire. Looking to smoke up and go for some action with Miposhka. He's got Ramses inside him. See if they can catch out from Secret. Arteezy, the only one to reveal himself at the moment on the bottom lane on his PL. He's playing it safe, backing off. And they are just going to wait, of course, for the completed Deso to come out to Ramses. So some of them may catch out the side of Secret if they get a good jump onto them Empire. Now, Arteezy, it's all about how far he dares to come down on this top lane. He's playing it safe for the moment. Secret realizing that Empire entirely off the map, and the Arteezy, he's back behind the tier 3s. They're not going to let themselves get caught out by this man.
He has a haste rune, but yeah, knowing that they can just easily kill him with a DK stun. Like at this point, you aren't really sure if DK has a blink, has a shadow blade. He did recently complete BKB, but no signs of any other items. So they have to play like he could have one of those items.
The Secret with the wraparound, they want to punish this push here. They have got the Ravage available. Universe, he's getting himself into position. They will jump in. He's just going to blow the Ravage onto Scandal. They can remove the DK from the front. They'll have a good chance of turning this, but Ravage jumping in. They'll pop down the static shot. The Swamp from Pilot will be there for the epicenter from Arteezy, ripping through them. They've lost Pi. They've lost 2. They're going to lose Envy as well. Here, by the looks of it, is Empire taking 3 kills. Scandal, he's still alive in this one with the armor. Totally turns around the power strike onto Arteezy. Triple kill for Ramses. And Secret getting absolutely destroyed there off the back of what was a movement and an initiation that they were looking for themselves. Jumping in, blowing that solo Ravage, but Empire, they were there to instantly react to that play.
Universe did not think it was going to be a solo Ravage. I think he expected at least 2 heroes to be behind him, especially with no blink on the Lifestealer, no blink on the Disruptor. You'd think that the supports would be much closer to the DK, but Empire were just out of Ravage range, but close enough to immediately follow up. That was a sick epicenter by Afterlife.
Jumping in here. Just have Puppey to back him up if he gets in too much trouble. Obviously some highlight die come in, but he's still getting glimpsed back. Ramses, he goes in. He says, I want to kill you, Puppey. And now he's just got a raging TP, just taunting. Dazzle, the rest of Empire, Scandal, King should be fine, and he will. They'll get themselves out. So again, serious damage being done here to the base of Secret. Just not an answer for it at the moment from the guys. Arteezy, he's picked up the Yasha, headed straight up towards that top lane to continue to farm, but as we can see individually, just the 3 cores on the side of Empire, straight up, all ahead of the 3 cores of the respective side of Secret.
And Arteezy is playing the Vigilancer very defensively, very passively. It wasn't that great of a lane phase for him, but he has not been able to make any aggressive maneuvers. He's just purely farming, and even his early Diffusal Blade pick. He went Diffusal Blade before the BOTs, yet he still used no charges on that.
We're now going to see Venge. Right. grab themselves the Vladimir. So something else to offer to the fights, the secret they have been looking for. We have seen each and every time that the Universe has this Ravage, they will look to aggressively smoke and or at least react to the pushes of Empire and try and catch them off on the sidelines.
Their catch is just terrible, though. Maybe like someone gets swapped in or PL keeps chasing them down, but none of that has really happened for Secret. They can't even get the kill off the first Ravage, let alone second, third, fourth.
Ramses just continue to be an absolute beast. Of course, Hyperstone on top of the Deso, Armlet, Echo Saber. Lifestealer certainly having a very good game at the moment, 26 minutes in. As you said, already kind of draft versus draft. The Lifestealer is very good against some of the heroes of the side of Secret, and we're certainly seeing that in the fight.
So both teams kind of know what each team is up to. Empire using a scan, either Dire Secret Shop, that pinged red, and then Secret also caught a glimpse of Lifestealer hopping into someone. They didn't have a Sentry Ward there, but they know he's inside the Riki.
We're going to see this again. They have the Ravage, but they've got to be careful.
They have BKB on gyro cover. This is big.
Envy, kind of toying with Scandal, trying to get him to go in. You can see from the sidelines by Poshka, he's got Ramses inside of him, ready for a jump onto a backliner. But yeah, as you said, it's going to be a little bit harder to just dispatch of Envy immediately with the BKB. And looks like Empire, they'll spot it out and realize that they can't really go too aggressive. Just respecting the jump that Secret can get on them.
They're very hesitant because of the BKB.
Yeah.
Even if the BKB were down, though, Vengeful Spear could possibly swap them, or a Grave could come out, so even that's not a guaranteed kill without it. So who do they want to jump right now? I guess Tidehacker would be pretty good. I don't think they can prevent the Ravage because of the two supports. So
yeah, and the fact that he's got the Force as well. I mean, he has got the potential to reposition himself. Get a chance to Ravage. Puppy. He's going to pick up the gem for the team so they can start to get a bit more map control. And of course, just to help deal with this Riki, Naposhka, who's just constantly trying to jump in onto the backlines with Ramses inside him.
And PL's just not able to split push at this point. Constantly worried about an Infest Bomb, even an Epicenter. Burrow Strike combo from Sand King with 3 or 4 illusions out would probably kill him. And Sand King looks like he's going for a 4-step. Once he gets a Veil or Aether Lens, let's say, it's going to be incredible damage output from them. And PL never wants to go BKB.
Yeah, I mean, just Afterlife with the Iron he's got already. Just having the Aghanim's. You know, they talked about in the structure how much it can do against the PL and his army. So Secret, they have to be careful about that. And the thing is as well, what have they got to kind of stop Afterlife from getting away with it? He's never really going to be on the front. He's always going to be on the back. So Secret, unless they're able to kind of smoke up and get behind, get rid of the Sand King first, it's going to be very hard to deal with Empire in these team fights. They do now have the Greaves on Universe. So a bit of a step up there in team fight potential. And Secret, they are smoked up. Empire are going to look for Roche. See what kind of a jump Secret can get Maposhka. He's going to wander around, but Puppy. They have to jump in straight away with the Ravage. It will tickle Ramses onto the sidelines, and Envy's popped his BKB. Secret maybe seeing if they can chase down for more. It's only been Maposhka so far to feel the wrath of this smoke. Empire still with 4 very strong heroes on the sidelines, you know, Epicenter and everything else. And Maposhka, he's going to just straight up buy back into the game, just wanting to leave no chance of Secret looking for the Roshan. But I mean, without the Ravage and the fact that Empire still have all their ults up, yeah, Secret just realized they've just left the pit entirely. They know that they're going to have a huge amount of difficulty trying to contest this rush.
Empire are excellent, kind of all committing to a fight, but not all getting caught out in the Ravage, as opposed to Mineski, who I think, like, they always wanted to fight together, but they were just way too close together and could never just leave one hero to die, like Empire has done with that last fight. Well, that's a free rush for them. One thing that Envy is not really doing is scouting too much with his Ogre or stacking. He was keeping the Ogre around him for Frost Armor.
I'm just going to have a quick pause here, but I mean, let's just talk about kind of the overview of this game so far, Ben. With 30 minutes in, 12 for 8, you know, you do have Ramses now, 14,000 net worth. He's a couple of thousand ahead clear of the PL and the Gyro. It's just Secret at this point. How are you turn this one around? Have you just got to kind of wait for Empire to try and go for the high ground and catch them off there, you know, with a good swap, repositioning one of Empire's cores? I mean, how can you just even begin to comprehend tackling Empire when they have this just great positioning each and every time, which is making it pretty much impossible for Universe to hit the Ravages that he needs?
You kill Sand King. If you can, I think if you trade like Tidehacker for Sand King, the PL can go crazy in the fights.
And a free courier for Ramses. I mean, he takes the courier, he'll take a tier 3 as well. Easy couple of objectives here for the man, and now Universe will jump in, but Ramses raging away. jumping at him, forcing back the Titan to getting a bit of damage done onto the racks. Now Scandal coming in as well with the Dragon Tail. Universe has got to be careful, trying to get himself back, but the glimpses there, the swap from Pi, and the Shallow Grave from Puppy will keep him alive on the sidelines. Boris stuck onto Envy and Maposka, starting to chop away with the troops of the trade. Envy gets the BKB out, tries to escape, now turning onto Ramses, but Ramses tries to go in aggressively. They will be able to pop the Aegis here, Secret. Can they kill the Lifestealer a second time? And certainly go for it, moving straight in onto the man. Ramses falling low, the clouds be there, but there we have Epicenter coming in! Afterlife just trashing the side. Envy's down, Arteezy will be Shallow Grave. He gets glimpsed back in, trying to get away with the doppelganger, but the brief fire from Scandal. 2 dead on the side of Secret, and Empire, no mercy, moving in for more eyes onto Puppy. He'll go down as well. There's going to be 4 dead on Secret, no buybacks available. Ben, Secret getting entirely outplayed this game by Empire.
Yeah, I thought Lifestealer had made a mistake by raging right before his Aegis
And
popped.
GG is called. Look at that. Empire absolutely over the moon with this best of 1 victory, and Ben Secret coming into this tournament. I think it's an understatement to say that people expected a lot more from them, but this just was, what went wrong, Ben?
The Sand King was the ace up Empire's sleeve. It countered the PL, it countered all their team fight, too much spread damage for Dazzle to deal with, even the defensive swap. It was just a lot of AoE damage. On top of that, they had the Dragon Knight, very good versus all this minus armor, and Lifestealer, who got sacked but ended up coming easily back into the game.
A really smart draft from Empire, excellent execution as well. I really feel, Afterlife sank it. I mean, I can't remember, I've kind of lost count of the amount of epicenters he was hitting each and every time, doing huge amounts of damage. And Secret, they just struggled with the way the Empire played. We saw Secret coming in with a plan, trying to go aggressive on the bottom lane. It didn't work out. Ben, day 1 at the LAN, we've lost EG and we've lost Secret.
Yeah, it's crazy. It seems like they were kind of playing with the fear of the Infest Bomb all game, maybe because they saw it earlier in the day from MVP.
Maybe, but wow, what a day 1 it's been. I mean, that's it from me and Ben. I can't wait to hear what the panel has to say about just that performance and Empire really turning up and outplaying Secret here today, knocking them out of the tournament. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you, Eddie Pixel and Malini there with the final game of the day. 32 minutes and 2 seconds is all it took for Empire to take down Team Secret. Team Secret go out in 13th to 16th place, causing all sorts of problems and no doubt plenty of stories to come over the coming days. Empire, however, are moving on.
I mean, what?
Well,
I'm pretty sure
you all predicted it.
I'm pretty sure that GG just got called at 31:54, and we had a 32-minute and 2-second game.
The memes are alive and well.
I'm done.
GG. There's too much memes for Nahaz. On a serious note, Winter, good performance by Empire.
We predicted it. We knew that how the early game was going to go. We even talked about, Sand King, when he gets the Aghanim's, game's going to be really hard. And Secret tried to go aggro try. So they gave Sand King a 1 versus 1 matchup, which he is going to win. He was against another melee hero. And, I mean, they shut down the Lifestealer, yes, but the Riki alone roaming around won Empire the other 2 lanes. So basically, Secret had to sack 2 lanes just so that they could have shut down the Lifestealer, which was not a very good trade at all.
I know Black is itching to bring up the Sand King. We, honest to God, we had this conversation, I think it was 2 nights ago, over dinner, and he brings up this Sand King thing, and I'm like, oh, that's not a thing, is it? And actually, exactly what he just explained is exactly what just happened in this game.
It was amazing, man. I was so happy. But I think that was not the biggest reason they lost. The biggest reason they lost is, look at Secret's lineup. They have 0 aggression heroes. All of the heroes need a lot of farm, and
too much farm.
It just doesn't work. You need heroes that can make things work early. Titan needs level 6, he needs a blink, he needs a mech. What do you have? You have a Venge stun, you have nothing else.
We've spoken about this before. We spoke about it at Epicenter, we spoke about it in the group stage, we spoke about it today. It keeps coming back, so why?
Like Puppy said in the interview, they don't have something they're really confident with right now, but they will just draft what's best for them. Like, that can't be the best they came up with. That is disappointing.
I just got the damage numbers up on Dota Buff, and so Empire did 35k hero damage total as a team. Sand King did 10k damage with his spells alone. I mean, absolutely. Black was talking about it all game long, and we were sitting here fiending that, and he just owned the game with those spells.
Yes.
Yeah, this is it's a bit earlier in the game. Were Empire in any danger? There was a moment when Secret made a bit of a play, wasn't there?
There was one fight mid where Winner and I were talking about it. We watched the replay several times, and it just looked like Empire got a little bit overconfident.
Right.
They tried to get a tower kill against at nighttime against a tied with Ravage and Mac.
They got greedy, basically.
Yep.
And that was before BKBs. As soon as they have BKBs, they can take those fights, and we've seen it. DK had BKB, they had no trouble taking any fight.
Here is really just one of two fights that was kind of the beginning of the end. You solo Ravage on a DK, the Venge is out of position for the second stun, and the fight is just never close.
We talked about this like for a minute or 2 minutes when we were watching the game. We were rewinding and we were looking at the situation. Tide just went in when Venge was out of position. It was like there was no communication. Tide Ravage, and there was no follow-up for that.
What we said about AG is kind of true here too. Like, just the same story.
And we missed, so we skipped over the highlight too. The next Ravage after that, they solo Ravage Ricky for a kill and Envy BKBs.
Yeah. Like, the Ricky puts down the smoke screen and we pressed BKB, even though there was no other hero in vision. Like, the nerves must have gotten to them.
Great reactions from the Empire boys as well inside the booth.
And they, I mean, you can't, we're talking about Secret too much here. You can't take anything away from what Empire was able to do.
Yeah, it was a crazy end to the game. But I think with Empire, the way that they've played and they've gone through, will they see that as a success, or do you think they can go further in the tournament?
I think this is a very dangerous team. I will say it before, and I will continue to say it. When this team sets their supports and really their 3 through 5 roles up for success, when they're dynamic around the map, I just think they're a very, very difficult team to play against.
Yeah. And their social media guy will obviously be having a field day this evening. Looking forward to getting back to Twitter.
I'm sorry, the Empire Twitter guy is just the most,
shout out to Empire Twitter guy.
He's the most savage thing on the planet right now.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Yeah, I do remember when Evil Genesis tweeted out and said, have you got anything, any jokes for us? And he just replied, NA Dota. Brilliant. Right, unbelievably savage. In terms of the way that we've wrapped up, because we're at the end of the day and we can kind of talk about the whole day as a whole now, we've had 4 lower bracket games as well. The 2 upper ones, which we can sort of wrap up towards the end of the day. I think do we have the interview ready? I'm not sure if we do. We do have the interview ready, so I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's do the interview first. So Action Slacks, of course, down on the main stage, and then when we come back, we'll wrap up the day.
Man, Team Empire versus Team Secret, a team made to win majors, a team that looks invincible on paper, and you guys utterly destroy them. How you feeling, man?
Very well. We feel fucking amazing after winning them.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, good to hear it, man. Okay, so question for you here. I mean, you're going up against Team Secret. Did you know that you would do so well? You fought them at ESL Manila. You beat them 2-0 there. You beat them seemingly effortlessly here. Were you nervous going into that match at all?
We were nervous when we play versus them at Manila, but first time at Manila. Yeah. But nowadays we feel pretty confident.
Oh, so you knew that this was going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh, big words. All right. You're about to be eliminated. You're up against Team Secret, and you're crazy enough to pick a Sand King. A Sand King. How did you know that was going to work?
We were expecting them to go 3-lane bot, and they pick Pale. When Sand King has Scepter, he burst strikes Pale, and he dies because of third spell.
Yep. So it was all that PL pick. It was very strategic. You went right in there and thought about it.
Yeah, when we saw PL, we thought like Sand King gonna win this game.
Yeah. Textbook stuff. Okay, man. You might have been a new team. You've been growing fans. You've been making your way in this world here. It's your first major. I gotta ask you, as your first major, you like the majors?
Yeah, it feels amazing to play here.
I'm sure you do. And they certainly like you here. So with all this victory is huge. You got all these new fans most likely. I know these guys love you now. I got to ask, I got to ask you any words for all the people that just saw that victory and are some new Team Empire fans.
Thank you for your support. It very helps us to win.
All right. And you going to win the rest of the major?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I'll take it. All right, man. Thanks a lot for your time. Congratulations again. An amazing victory. And we'll send it right back to the panel for one of our final segments.
Thank you very much to SAS down there on the main stage. It's been great all day as well with all of the interviews that he's done. We'll wrap things up as we can do with the MVP of this particular game. Alan, you've got some fairly strong thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, this is just easy game, easy call here. 10k spell damage out of 35k team damage with his Sand King, just keyed so many fights. His epicenter positioning was almost perfect. Even the one fight that they lost mid, it was because they were so confident that he could get the perfect epicenter combo off.
Okay, MVP is Afterlife. We'll also show you the final bracket of the day as well, because it has been a very long day, but a very exciting day. We've seen some terrific dozers today, both in the upper bracket and the lower bracket. Earlier on today, if you missed it, Liquid versus MVP was an absolute barn burner from MVP. The second game in particular is one that will live long in the memory of Dota fans. OG then took on Na'Vi and clean sweep them 2-0 in emphatic fashion. They will now meet off in the semi-finals of the upper bracket later on in the tournament. In the lower bracket, we have 4 matches today, all in all. The losers, Wings Gaming, Mineski, Evil Geniuses, and Team Secret. Those 4 are out of the major.
You say that like a year ago, and you're like, you're crazy, man.
Yeah, it's almost almost unbelievable that we've got the last major winner and the last international champion both gone in the first round of the lower bracket.
And a team that almost everybody had in their top 4 in Wings.
Easily top 4 as well. Many had them in second or even third place. So
day one.
Yeah, day one. That's just day one. Talking of which, let's take a look at day 2, because day 2 will be another great day of Dota 2 action. So this is what we've got coming up for you tomorrow, Wednesday the 8th of June, 10 o'clock local time, which I make in around about 11 hours time, so not very long at all. Upper bracket round 1, match 3 and 4. So the last 2 of the upper bracket best of 3s will take place tomorrow with Newbie versus DC. So Actions Lace is very excited about that one. LGD will take on Fnatic, and then we'll go back to the lower bracket for Complexity versus Team Liquid, would you believe, and Na'Vi versus Alliance. That's right, Na'Vi versus Alliance. The El Clasico of Dota will be our final game of the day 2. Let's wrap things up for our final part of the day with all 3 of you. I guess my personal highlight would be that MVP game too, but is there anything else that stood out for you? We'll start with Alan.
It's just an incredible day of Dota, and I think you're talking about 3 teams that you could conceivably have picked in your top 4 going home in the first day, and the best team in the tournament, at least based on what we've seen so far, yet to play a game tomorrow. This is going to be an unbelievable ride. We've got 5 more days left.
Winter?
I think MVP, I was really surprised by how well they played, and I mean, I kind of expected EG and Secret to not do so well based on their group games.
Yeah, based on what they've done in the past over the last few weeks and so on.
A huge day of upsets, and what really surprised me is that MVP actually played better calculated aggression than Liquid. That like, I couldn't comprehend that. I was like, that's not happening.
This is Liquid's 6th man, by the way. He'll claim every victory that Liquid claimed.
Liquid is, I don't know, in my head they're the top 1 team and MVP beat them, so maybe MVP is the top 1 team now, I don't know.
And we haven't seen Newbie play yet.
Right.
At least in the open, in the main event, so we've got that to look forward to tomorrow, so it's going to be fun. Thank you very much to all 3 of you. Also big thanks to all of our commentary team, our observers, statsmen, all the production of course that have brought you the main event on day 1. There's still 5 days to go. We'll see you tomorrow for day 2 when it's going to be even better.